What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am finally back with another Real Housewives of Potomac video. It has been too long. I just watched this weekend's episode. Guys, if you're wondering how I keep up with the Housewives of Potomac from here in France, what I do is I have ExpressVPN. I pay for it on a monthly basis, and then I watch the episodes on hayu.com. So if you're like, trying to find a way to watch this stuff online, that is a good idea. If you're interested, I've got the link down below for you to get your own ExpressVPN. It is an affiliate link, so you will be able to get the VPN and support this channel at the same time if that's what you're into. So let's get into this recap. Guys, Candiace finally got what she'd been begging for these past 2 years. I love to see people manifest the things that they want, so I am incredibly happy for her that she finally got what she wanted. All jokes aside, you guys, listen, violence is wrong, 100%. I am disappointed in Monique for hitting her, but I'm not going to sit here and act like Candiace was like a sitting duck who just got popped for no real reason. She was antagonizing Monique. She asked her if she was going to drag her multiple times. So if you're going to ask someone, hey, are you going to beat me? Are you going to pop me? You better be ready for them to beat you and pop you when you guys are like nose to nose in a very heated moment with a lot of alcohol involved. I was very shocked to see Candiace not ready for the situation despite her own role in antagonizing the fight. Listen, I have a theory as to why it was that Monique even hit Candiace. I think that Giselle and Robyn are and maybe even Wendy as well, though I do like Wendy's take on this. I think that they might be trying to make it seem as though Monique just snapped for no reason. But when you go back and rewatch the fight, you very clearly see Giselle's hand push Monique on the shoulder. And because she was face to face with Candiace, flicking her hair, which was so dead wrong of you, Monique, and therefore thought that she was defending herself after Karen threw the first real hit in the fight. I truly believe that that is why she wound up swinging on Candiace, and that is why she doubled down on her stance. Like, I don't think she knew that it was someone else trying to push her away from the situation, but because it is Giselle, I don't even know if Giselle was trying to push Monique away from Candiace or she was trying to start some mess, because it's always Giselle meddling to get all of these fights started, and you just could tell she was loving this. Anyway, Monique just pulled on Candiace's hair, swung on her. Candiace whipped her wine glass at Monique. The wine glass wound up being like broken in half. And so it was very sharp, of course, being glass, and she kept swinging it around to the point where she almost hit Karen, I believe. She almost hit Giselle in the face with this broken wine glass. Like, that was wild. And by the way, the glass wound up cutting Monique on the lip. So again, I don't believe that there are any innocent parties here. It was two women antagonizing the hell out of each other, and just one of them was prepared to back up her words. All of this aside, I also have to say, though, that Monique's anger towards Candiace this season has been so one-sided and confusing when you consider the fact that she claims that it's over a plan that Giselle ultimately hatched, with Charisse and Robyn. So why was Monique so happy to be kikiing with with Giselle and Robyn throughout the season, riding with them to the cottage and everything, but trying to turn her back on Candiace? There was even a moment at Ashley's baby shower where Monique was talking to the other women about her desires to quote unquote ice Candiace out of the group so that she realizes that she is the problem. I was kind of sitting there like, Monique, you're not even part of the group. Like, the ultimate plan is to get rid of you. Like, why else would they start these kinds of rumors? Like, she's very obviously not that bright. She fell for the bait, hook, line, and sinker, thinking that Giselle and Robyn would have her back when they ultimately wanted her to do something this dumb so that they could permanently ice her out of the show. Candiace calling Monique a hood rat was so uncalled for, you guys. Considering last season she was the one waving around and throwing knives at people. This season she is the one who smashes a wine glass and tries to stab someone in the face with it. She was very much into the fight. She just was not physically ready to back up her mouth, and that is Candiace's problem and Candiace's alone. And the fact that she thinks she's classy just because she got her ass beat after begging for it is just ridiculous. Remember, this is the same Twitter gangster who's been calling for violence for years. Look at this tweet she posted last year. I would love for you to pop me with that Forever 21 bag you bought with your concubine allowance so I can bust you upside your raggedy head for provoking me. I have time, bed wench. That was a tweet towards Ashley when Ashley was giving birth. Like, Candiace is a sick person. She's not okay. You know, she is a violent person herself. So for her to be like, I don't do this. This isn't who I am. I feel so bad representing Black women like this. Girl, this is 100% who you are. Big mouth with little fists that can't back it up. You know, by the way, Monique running out the back door to jump Candiace was way too much. The fight was already over. Yes, I know Candiace was antagonizing her by calling her a ghetto bitch, a hood rat, all that stuff. But listen, like, she shouldn't have run out after her like that, you know, well after the situation had passed. And again, I really wonder what happened in the conversation at the barn to merit all of this, because it was a very, you know, Giselle just stirring the pot per usual when she asked Candiace if she loved Monique as well. And then Candiace said, oh, I love her too, even though she pretends to be asleep when I'm leaving her cottage, which Monique did do. And instead of just owning that, she got super defensive and did the whole, I've got kids, so of course I can be tired. People who don't have kids can't be tired BS thing that some moms love to do. But again, I do, thinking about it, think that it was the push from Giselle that really ultimately got things going and physical. And by the way, you guys, look at how transparent Robyn and Giselle are as fake friends. You know, after Candiace was already ushered off and Monique was there at the barn, they didn't check on her. You know, remember, she had a busted lip. They didn't check on her. They didn't say one word to her, even just to say that they were disappointed in her. It's very obvious that these girls were never her friends. So I do genuinely feel bad that Monique, even for 1 second, was foolish enough to think otherwise. Now, Wendy's commentary about how a single fight between two random Black women being used as reason enough to not give Black women or Black people a seat at the table was such BS. You know, I feel like she's such a faux intellectual sometimes. Listen, Black people, we're all individual people. You guys don't represent anyone but yourselves. And to act as though this could be justification for systemic racism against Black people that has already existed since the beginning of America's inception by purposeful design for no reason other than because you guys are Black in America is ridiculous and is a very blatant display of how ignorant she truly is about racial politics within the country. Racist white people don't need a reason to keep you away from the table other than the fact that you are Black. You know, being, you know, your best model Black American is not going to change that. Just look at all the issues that the Obamas faced despite being the most educated couple to have ever entered the White House. I mean, really, Wendy, really? Moving along here, I really like how honest Chris was with Monique about his disappointment in her behavior, and I'm disappointed to see that she sees nothing wrong with her own behavior as well. You do need to show some level of remorse, even if you don't think that you're wrong. You know, I think that people should not be proud that they have been pushed to the level where they need to physically fight someone. You know, like, even if you felt like, yeah, it was Candiace who pushed you, even though it wasn't, at least be like, oh my God, I can't believe that this happened. I hate that this happened. I feel so embarrassed that this happened. It's not my first reaction to ever physically go after someone, but she just kept digging her heels in about how proud she was of getting physical with Candiace, and it was hard to watch, especially when she got to the part about her parents teaching her how to pop a bitch. Oh my God, I think she said something about stomp on their foot and pull their hair. I was like, oh, but I can't judge too much because remember, Monique did have a rough upbringing, so I can understand why things like this would be more normal as a survival mechanism for people who have, you know, more of a turbulent like neighborhood environment. You know what I mean? I really don't want to turn into a Candiace or a Giselle or whatever, where you try to be classist or elitist about the way that someone grew up. You know, Candiace calling her a ghetto hood bitch was 1000% rooted in classism, and it was very hard to watch considering the fact that, sure, Candiace grew up a lot wealthier than Monique did, but she still is the same person who has been threatening violence for years and even begging for violence for years. So, you know, acting like you're any different from her just because you can't fight, I don't know. I don't like it. Did anyone else think that Giselle's father was a secret breakout star of the episode? Fight aside, I truly loved seeing more of him. I was amazed to learn that he wasn't present for her wedding to Pastor Jamal because of how many times he had cheated on her leading up to the wedding. So I felt like, good for you, sticking by your principles and not supporting that trifling bum that she decided to marry. She tells her father that she's dating Jamal again, and he says that he wants her to be happy, and she says that she wants him at her future wedding. Like, she's like, listen, if I ever do get married again, I want you to be there. And he says that he will not only be there, but he will walk her down the aisle. But listen, she didn't say a wedding to Jamal, right? So if she does, God forbid, end up marrying this trashy bum again, I don't believe that her father would be there, much less walking her down the aisle. Meanwhile, in her high-rise condo, Ashley asked her husband Michael for a post-nuptial agreement that would guarantee her and her son Dean some things in the event of a divorce from Michael, which is very likely at this point. She did say she's 40% out of the marriage. I feel like, what, good for you, Ashley. Get it on camera and negotiate, get that coin. This marriage to me from the very beginning has obviously been a very fake marriage for image purposes. She's obviously looking for financial security. He's also looking for a trophy wife, and some might even, argue a beard as well. So she really should get the most out of it that she can, especially with the way this guy is embarrassing the hell out of her left, right, and center. Michael agrees to look into the post-nuptial agreement. He says that he does need to take care of her and their son, which I feel like he did it for the cameras, but might fight her a little bit on what it is that he is willing to offer her. Then we move on to the state of Karen's marriage. I just love Karen so much, and it breaks my heart to watch her try so hard to revive the love, rekindle the flame in her marriage to Ray, while he doesn't try at all. And she says that, listen, she's still in love with him, even though she's the only one putting in effort in this marriage. And he goes, I don't know if I'm still in love with Karen. I know that I love Karen. Well, dude, why don't you put in the effort? Love is work at the end of the day. So how do you just sit there and accept all of her labor, her emotional labor, and say that you don't know if you love her back? That is incredibly selfish. I was talking to my friend about this. Listen, I would love to see Karen move on to someone who loves her and cherishes her, but at the same time, she's put in so many years in this marriage that I think that she should just ride it until the very end and, then move on with her life. She stands to lose way too much to walk away now. And in the final scene of the episode, Giselle and Jamal open up that restaurant for their kids, and her dad comes out to support them. And so they have a little aside conversation, just the adults, where Giselle is hyping up Jamal, and she misquotes her father. Her father specifically said that he wants her to be happy, but she tells Jamal in front of her father that he wants both of them to be happy. And so he's like, I'm a head out. That SpongeBob meme. He claims that he's going to the washroom, but he just goes. He tells the producers to take his microphone off of him. And then he's like, listen, I can't support this. This guy's got what, 6, 7 baby mamas? How am I, as a father, supposed to support this? I mean, really. And the episode ends there with her father dragging her harder than anyone has ever dragged her in these 5 seasons of the Real Housewives of Potomac, which is exactly what Giselle deserves. I've been saying this from the very beginning. Giselle is a very wretched woman with a black heart, in my opinion. So I'm not surprised to see how difficult it is for her in the love department, and to see that she has to settle down with someone as trifling as Jamal Bryant, just all the way around. Good luck to you, Giselle, with this mess of a situation you're in. And how ironic that she said that she didn't want to speak on how many kids Jamal had because it wasn't fair to the kids or their parents, their moms. Meanwhile, she was willing to lie on a baby, a newborn baby, and claim that his father wasn't his father. She wanted to create a broken home for her co-star just because she can't handle the fact that Monique is rich with 4 homes. Just a pathetic woman all the way around. Anyway, you guys, those are just my thoughts on the Real Housewives of Potomac. As usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about everything. So please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.